After removing decades of wallpaper, I discovered a hidden problem: rising damp. Originally from the previous owners, we got this house wallpapered entirely, as well as this room, which we're gonna try to renovate. First thing I have done was removing all old papers, as during the winter wallpaper started molding. Once I removed the wallpapers, the hidden treasure showed up as a rising damp on two walls where all plasters and skimming layers were just destroyed and were ready to fall.
Let's say that this is my first renovation in UK ever, and I'm trying to make it as possible, as good as UK people usually do, right? Or even better. So yeah, I already removed some cracking and destroyed walls and found some damp places over here and in other walls as well. There, you see, I destroyed all the walls over there as well. I'm trying to fix them back.
To fix the wall damp, I ordered a dry rod in two versions. A rod specialized for removing and blocking a rising water in walls to keep it dry had 10 pieces inside, and as my holes were a little bit shorter than requirement, I need to make a same size holes on my walls, which is 120 millimeter in length and 12 millimeter in diameter, for which I don't have any matching drill, so I'm gonna just replace them with what I have at home. The another version of rods are looking like a silicone, which I can use with my silicone gun, so no need of buying any other equipment. After removing all wallpapers and destroyed plaster parts, I also enlarged bigger cracks, which were more than 1 millimeter thick, or longer cracks which looks like gonna continue cracking. So I found out all the cracks, small and bigger ones. I think maybe to leave the small ones, but the big ones need some work. For stopping future cracks on the end of the starting points of cracking, I made a circular holes. It works like a blockage. When the time will come for plastering part, I will just fill them with the plaster. All corners are cracked, which requires a proper cleaning from losing parts. Fill it with the plasters and extra reinforcement with special tape. While on entire walls, I found so many cracks, some of which are need to be taken care of. Drilling looks easy, but when you don't have a specific machine, it can take you 2 and 3 days to finish the simple work. I had to buy 12 millimeter drill, but as I didn't find it in the store, I just bought the 8 millimeter, which was accessible in the store. At this stage, I have drilled half of my wall. In total, I counted 25 holes should be there as requirement, was to keep a 12 centimeter between each hole. Left to drill few more holes, and this stage will be done. New drill work gone faster. My tactic is to alternate with two versions of product I have. As it's my first time using them, I'm not really sure how they're gonna work. So making everything to work properly, I'm just gonna use both of them. In the case if one is not gonna work, then other properly gonna work. The bad side of putting these dry rods is that you can't check instantly what's going on, if the rods are working or not. Only maybe the next winter I will get to know that how it is working. Finish drilling all the holes on both walls. Now I'm gonna start installing rods and that's another liquid.
As here you can see, I drilled some holes around 12 millimeters to install these dry rods in my walls that it dehumidify the walls. So this system is just like that. You literally make some holes, and the second step, just clean it up and insert these sticks over there, and it's gonna work like the humidifier, and like now gonna suck all the humid from your walls, so your home walls won't damp again. I hope it's gonna work. I just made some kind of holes over there, if you can see or not. Some of holes like no, not exactly the same size I guess, but I think somehow I will try to make it work. So I hope it works. I also got this version of dry rods damp proofing cream. I suppose that it works the same way as this dry rod sticks, or how it's called, ultimate rising damp treatment. Yeah, built to protect. Yeah, so having these two, the two, and got some drill. It's literally not that 12 millimeter drill, but yeah, I'm trying to use whatever I have. I actually went to buy some drill but couldn't find the 12 one, so just got the long 8 ones. So just making a little bit bigger hole with the 8 one, so that can be used for my hole. And then what's the next? We ordered some these ones, these tabs for the wall to stick the on the cover as the cracking walls, and then plaster on top of it so that our cracks won't be visible. Do you see, like, there is so many cracks going on, right? Yep. Yeah, I just like disattached that plugger, or like how it's called. Need to make it work as well. And it's not really sure if these places are still wet and looking this reddish, or like you see this color and that color, like, do you see the difference? I think I can see some difference, but I'm not really sure why the difference over there, because of the wetness, or just it's some cracks, or the cleanness of the wall is looking like that way. Okay, so this room is entirely like this wall, and then some parts of, oh, I was thinking, I should crack it over here, thinking to check if there is a damp still going on or not, because here was a lot of molds going on the top of the wallpapers. And then also there was some kind of wetness, and I was not really sure So when I crack it, I could clearly see that there was nothing wet. It was completely dry. So I think that it doesn't require any damp proofing. And then here we go to the other side. So here is another problem. Here is a bit different problem than in other wall. Here, as you see, this angle, it's literally looking wet, right? It's still looking wet, and it's actually, yeah, kind of raining today. So maybe the wetness from the outside is coming still, and it's not getting dry completely. You see, this this one is looking pretty dry, right? But here we go, and we see like it's so red, it's so wet. I couldn't crack these places. So maybe left, like I don't know if it gonna be a good decision to leave them over there, or I still will have to remove them. Yep. So the conditions right now are just like here, and I'm just planning to first install the dry roads and then put on them this kind of plaster. It's like a salt resistant plaster. I think it's salt resistant plaster, right? I'm not really sure because I'm the first time using UK materials. So like I hope so it's the salt resistant material, and I'm just gonna complete this part. Before like previously, okay, like they were just having this like a reddish plaster, like you see over here. This kind of reddish plaster was just on top of that part as well. And you see like on top of it there is some molds going on. I just don't know how to heal them up. Maybe just spray with a mold, like cleaning sprays. It was the worst condition on the top of the, but you see like wallpapers. But you see that here, if you see, then just on top of this one, of this like orange plaster or something, like the mold was going on. But here on the bottom it looks fine, right? Is it like salt resistant and then salt burn? Is it salt burn? Who knows? Please comment on below that I could know that what I should do with this part. I was just thinking it's like old, not properly done plastering, but I'm right now I'm not really sure. Maybe it's the salt damage. Yeah. So keep on with us, and I'm just doing this kind of renovation, small renovation in my house, and trying to make this all looks a little bit better. I hope it works.
Like now, I was installing rod in one hole, skipping one hole, another hole, and then putting another rod over there. So in between two rods, I could uh, squeeze that different type of liquid rod. So everything works for making 100% sure that if one not gonna work properly, then another one gonna work as well, right? So I was just making sure that everything gonna work. At the end part of my walls, I already was so tired, so I didn't make the holes properly. And anyways, somehow there was some more harder wall, something is going behind. So I even with my entire force, I couldn't make any hole over there. Drill was already not working, and many of. I broke actually one shorter drill of me. So I decided whatever, just the front. Anyways, that behind part was not that much dampened, so I just took more drastic action on the front part where there was more dams coming up from, and there on the left part I just used it whatever I could have, and with the whatever depth or length I had over there. time for cleaning the walls and floor from the dust and preparing for plastering. At this level, I'm installing the dry rods inside of my drilled holes. So as the holes are not all equally similar, I'm just trying to measure them beforehand and make sure that it is getting installed without any problem. Also, I'm trying to check the length, and so I don't make any extra long stuffs inside, and I won't be able to take them out. It's a long process, but the satisfaction of seeing the transformation will be worth it. Yeah, it took me a little bit longer than I expected, but still, yeah, I could use in one wall where there was a 25 holes, right, with 10 rods, and there are some rods also left for me, actually two extra or something like that, and I just cut them into two pieces and then install them inside, but whatever left I just put it in my extra holes to get all together, to know to make any waste. Still, money is money, we should invest anything, right? And small piece or longer piece, this rods should be doing its job at least. Anyways, so here we finished only one wall, and there is one another wall in the next to the window part, right? So we'll do that the next time, and maybe do some plastering afterwards. But the roads were saying there was some kind of gap between, like, once you install it, you need to wait for some time and then afterwards plaster it. So maybe let them, I will see, how does it work, and if the walls gonna get dry quickly or not. So basically I left them for 3 days, around 3-4 days, to see how these roads are working. And as I could see that with after 2 days, I could see that it's stuck into the walls, and maybe that is how it works. And I also wanted the walls to get dried more better way. I mean, the bricks were still a little bit wet, so I installed the rods and was hoping that those rods gonna help the walls dry even more quicker. Although I already left these walls to dry without any, removing all these excess of broken plaster and wall pieces, and made the hole over there, drilled them, and left them for a few days, like around the week, that the wall completely dried out. And whatever couldn't dry out during that time will be dried out with these rods together. And during this time when I'm doing this, it was around April, still a little bit cold, still too much rainy outside. So and as you know, UK winters are some humidity, right? Which took me a little bit longer to dry my walls. So we'll see you next time when on the next video. and then we're gonna finish the other wall and maybe already start some plaster works.